Hello and welcome, I am Arumba, thank you for joining me. I wanted to tell you guys about a game I've been playing a little bit over the last couple weeks. I found it via the R Incremental subreddit, where I first started off playing a whole bunch of these little silly incremental games, because they're fun. I like them, I don't know why. I'm addicted, I know. But I played a game called Critter Mount, and evidently that guy, he made a really cool game, but then he went and died, and that was bad because, you know, his family was very sad. But also, he stopped development of his game. Someone else sort of took up the reins and created a sequel/evolution of the game and called it Slurpy Derpy. It is an iOS/Android/web-based game. It's a lot of fun. The concept is that you evolve little guys and make them get better stats, and you bake cookies and you grow stuff and conquer people and do research and stuff, and it's cool. So anyway, let's take a peek at this. First things first is that you can play the game for free, scarybee.itch.io/slurpyderpy. I'll put a link in the description down below, but there is the link right there. One minor complaint that I have is that there's no option in here to full screen this, and I can't stand playing games in a small little window when I have such a nice, big, beautiful monitor, so I went ahead and did this, where you go, like, view page source, and then I just sort of found the thing that put the thing in there, and then bam, done! Apparently, if you go here, which I'll put a link for that down as well, you can full screen the game by pressing F11. Done! Yay, look at that, it's a full screen game, woo! I did check ahead of time to make sure that the guy isn't running any ads or anything on this site, so I don't know if going here is bad, or if it's like, it shouldn't be cutting out revenue or anything, because there are in-app purchases in the game anyways. I don't know. I don't want to screw the guy who made the game over or anything, but at the same time, come on, man, where's the full screen button? Anyway. So yeah, let's go take a look. By the way, if you have any issues running the game, and the game won't load on Chrome or Firefox, and it says something about WebGL being enabled, what you need to do is take a look at this. You go to your settings, and you gotta make sure that this thing right here under System is checked. Use hardware acceleration when available. If it is not checked, then you will not be able to play the game. So, back to the actual game itself. Now, I've been playing this game for about 2 weeks, I think. So I'm a little bit into the title so far, and let's just take a peek. So here's our happiness up here. We've got happiness regeneration. Sacrificing your derps gives you energy. You can see the growth bar on how quickly we're gonna breed. There's a king, there's a queen, they've got stats, they're mating and stuff. That's his proboscis on his butt. That's not what you think it is. So I'm at my population limit, which means we can't breed anymore, so we gotta sacrifice a derp. I'm gonna kill him by pulling him down, just drag him into the abyss. Blah! Kill them all. Or if you want to kill them all at once, there's a button right here you can press. Mass sacrifice. All of them are dead. Now we have room for plenty of babies. And so here we can see that Aaron was just born. Aaron is better at the strength, better at the agility, not so good as the current queen in vitality, and not so good as the current queen with intelligence. Now this one is a clear advantage in most categories. And I've unlocked a research called the Angel, which I've also invested in quite heavily, so it's very, very fast. You'll notice it only takes 18 seconds for the Angel to auto-promote my derps for me. I also have something called the Reaper, which kills them automatically if they have less than average stats, so that's kind of handy too, just sort of manages this bottom bar quite well for you. So basically, yeah, you spend a lot of time just trying to make these guys get better. You can assign some of them over to this other category here. How on earth you get cookies out of cheese and candy, I don't know, but that's just the way the game works. You have derps that get cheese, and you have derps that make candy, and then they just make them into cookies. Delicious, cheesy candy cookies. It's a thing. You'll notice a lot of these buttons and icons and stuff are very iOS/Android friendly, because again, it's designed to be played on multiple devices. Over here, we've got our energy, and we've got our potions. Energy is used to cast spells and stuff, so I've got, for example, Sugar Rush increases production and research by a factor of 50 for 30 seconds. There's shortcut keys. I love the shortcut keys. They're so good. There's so many shortcut keys. Although I've actually played mostly on my phone, because I was on a vacation. I didn't have access to a computer. Though now that I do have it, I transferred my save over, and I'm probably going to play on the computer. You can just insta-breed. If you have space, instantly breeds a new derp to join your population. And an energy. Sugar Rush, as I mentioned, gives you production and research. Woohoo Juice makes them breed super, super fast. Patch Up instantly heals any damaged derps if they've been in combat. Boot Camp trains them up so they can earn some experience. And Heartburn, sacrificing derps will grant extra energy when you click the button. So, for example, I'm low on population, right? Because I just sacrificed everyone. So let's go ahead and make them breed a little bit more. We spend 40 energy, and now all of a sudden my breeding rate is much faster. My breed speed is 1.9 seconds. Every 1.9 seconds, they're spitting out a new one. And then we got the auto promotion going quite fast. You'll notice, though, that as you spend energy, you lose happiness. So the more you spend energy, the pissier they get, and then they stop wanting to do stuff. So that's bad. The only real effect to having low happiness is that you get less sacrifice energy, though. So what you'll end up finding is you kind of reach this equilibrium point where if you are sacrificing at the right speed relative to how often you're casting spells and stuff, then you just kind of average it out. And I can demonstrate that pretty easily just by saying, you know, as long as we have above 90% happiness, 80? Yeah, 80% happiness is the threshold for happy. They're super happy. And a 40 energy spell, it's like 2.5% happiness, I think, per energy, something like that. I don't remember what it is, but we're going to lose 15 happiness, whatever that ratio is. And they're going to get a little bit upset. Actually, I was thinking of the Heartburn. Heartburn lowers it by 15. Yeah, 75% of the energy you spend gets reduced from happiness. So breed a whole bunch of people, and we'll sacrifice them. An unassigned derp is worth 1 energy upon sacrifice in the current version of the game. It's still in active development, by the way. If you sacrifice a guy who's already got some experience, which you'll notice they're earning by doing their jobs, then you get way, way more energy. So for example, we have 30.6 right now, and now we have 37. So that guy at level 10 was worth like 6 or 7 energy. So generally, you kind of want to like cycle out the old guys, plus they have better stats now, right? Because we keep evolving them. But sacrifice the old guys, have a little bit of experience, and then you just kind of revamp or restock your energy. And if you balance it, like I mentioned, you'll do just fine. Beyond that, we have potions. These are kind of one of the things that's tied to the whole in-app purchases thing, which we'll talk about in a moment. But you also get a whole ton of them. I've got 29 of these wall bouncers, some genies, which give you better stats, hot minute, speeds stuff up, farsight, so you can see the battle map faster, and molten sand, which adds time warp. You get these from like just conquering maps and stuff, so you don't necessarily have to. It's one of those games that's, I think it's pretty well made, pretty well balanced. You don't have to do in-app purchases at all to feel like you're making progress. I have not spent any money. Not that I haven't considered it, because I've had a lot of fun with it. But so what do you spend the cookies on after you have the cookies? Cheese is useless outside of making cookies. Candy is useless outside of making cookies, but the cookies themselves can be spent to buy more population cap. You can spend cookies to buy more number of population limit for cheese jobs, for candy jobs, for baking jobs, for the number of units that can be set to do the army, which we haven't talked about yet, but we'll get there. Let's assign a guy to army, and we'll see what we can do. In fact, I don't really care much about cooking any cookies right now. Let's get them to breed a bit, since I killed everyone again. I murder people a lot. You know, it's a normal thing. It's something you do. I'm allowed to have up to 10 dudes in the army at the moment. I just put someone who was available to be promoted. They're slightly better into the army instead of actually like promoting them. You don't have to promote every single derp. It's not a big deal. They are actually called derps, by the way. I'm not just calling them derps because they're derpy. So yeah, we have 10 out of 10 soldiers ready to fight. This is the battle map. If you've played Critter Mound, it's pretty recognizable, I think, that it's a very similar theme. He used a hex grid instead of a, what would you call it? Just a square grid. But I've got scientific notation on because that's the best way to play. We currently have army power of 7.6 E26 offense, and health is at 5.15 E25 health. So I run a very offensive focused army. I think it's better just to kill them outright. It's way faster for me, at least. So long as my army strength is better than their health in each tile, I have a research that I've done which gives me the ability to just instant hit them one time. So 8.6 is more or less than E27. It's smaller. So let's see if we can find one that's actually killable. We got 9 E26, which will soon be 1 E27. It's not quite enough. Let's go ahead and do a boot camp. We're getting some learning, train him up stupid fast. Every time they level up, they gain, I think, 10%, like a 1.1x multiplier to their current stats. So you can see they're getting like super, super good. And you might think, oh man, I wish I could promote this guy and I'd have like 60% more. But you in the current version of the game, you can't just like take this guy and say, okay, now you're my king. The king, it's their base stats. The king and queen don't actually have levels. So you can't just do that. But it is telling you right there that these guys are now 68% stronger than our current generation based on that boot camp. So now we can come back. Now we have 2.49 E27, which is definitely higher than 1.27. So if we just click here, it's going to kill it instantly. Now it's mostly because I have one of the settings turned off, which is the battle animation, which I find to be completely pointless, but that's why there's a setting to turn it off. But this is what it looks like. Battle 1! Yay, we won some cookies. I have unlocked a guy named The General, who is auto-exploring for me and stuff, because he's a badass. Bam, done. And you notice because we're just insta-hitting them, we haven't taken a single point of damage. Let's take on a force that's a little bit stronger, and you'll see what happens when you don't have the ability to instant kill. Well, that's not so good. 6 of our derps have dead. They've died. They're gone. Oh well. New derps! And unfortunately, when they die like that, you don't get any sacrifice energy, so it's usually bad to let them die. But yeah, so let's talk about research. This is the research tree in the current version of the game. One minor complaint is that when you're playing on Chrome or a browser of some sort, the middle mouse wheel to zoom in and out is super slow compared to playing on my phone where you can just like pinch zoom it out like instantly. This thing requires you to like zoom like crazy, but Arumba's adjustments forthcoming, right? Let's go ahead and have them breed a bit. So yeah, I mean, you can just see what these things do. The main thing, the most important two, I think, are the Angel and Reaper, which allow the automated breeding, which is really, really handy. I did go all the way over to boot camp just because I like getting these things, the experience gain. One way I look at the experience gain is that it gives you the ability to like kill stuff you shouldn't be able to kill, but also it's a multiplicative bonus. So it goes like regular experience gain plus 10%, and then times 10, another 1.2. So it's like 1 times 1.1 times 1.2 times 1.3 times 1.5. So it gets really high really quickly. And the more experience you gain, the more sacrifice energy you get. So you end up with a bunch more energy. So it's more of an active playstyle. You probably don't need to go for this. In fact, if I really wanted to just like power through, you can chain research this attack power multiplier, which is pretty cool. There's the first strike ability, Ninja Reflexes. Allow your derps to strike as soon as battle starts. War Song's pretty cool. Inspires your derps, 1.25x scouting and breeding speed for 30 seconds after winning a battle. You can see I've accrued an hour and 26 minutes of War Song because I've been kicking butt, which is nice, so we breed faster. Over here we got a trading thing, which I think is horrible and shouldn't use. It's like a 1 to 10 ratio. You can trade cheese directly for cookies or trade candy directly for cookies, but the ratio, I mean, you'd have to, I can't really imagine a situation where it makes sense. I tried it. I tried out pretty much every research. I'm never going to get to trade again. These let you get more max energy. I ended up with a 10% bump just so that I can get the extra happiness. Increasing the rate that you regenerate happiness allows you to maintain that equilibrium for longer, again, promoting an active playstyle, which is cool. Draft is kind of cool. It lets you like click on a thing and say like, hey, all you guys, everyone that's available, come work this job. But you don't really need it. I mean, if you're playing on the computer, you can just, while your mouse is hovering it, see how there's that very subtle little highlight to the tag or the card that we've got. If I do that, and then I learn what the keyboard shortcut is, because I haven't actually played on this. Let's say I want to assign everyone to cookie production. All you have to do is just hover here and just press V. So, I don't know. I don't really see the purpose to draft. So, oh well. And then Taskmasters makes you make more cookies. Inspired is bad. Makes you it's okay. I don't know. I usually seem to beat each world like once per day or two, so it seems like Inspired is too slow. Each worker derp doing research will get you a half point of a free research every hour. So it would take like, what, in 10 hours, one derp would give you 5% of a free research. If you had 10 derps, then it would take 20 hours per free research. I'm not gonna play for 20 hours? What are you, crazy? It's never gonna happen. So anyway, that's the research tree. So what else, right? It's an incremental, right? You raise your stats, that's great, but there's more. you have to evolve, right? So I'm like almost done with this current world. My current mission right now is to clear 19 battle maps. I'm on level battle map 12. After I've completed this battle map and a number of others, then I'll be able to click a button here to evolve. Notice how these guys are all colored in? That means I've already done these. I've done the mission for this side, this side, this side. This is the very last one I have to do, and then after that, I will be able to devolve back to basics, pick another world, and pick up something called rad points, which we can look at by going to here. Reality alignment discombobulation. So these are things you can pick up that give you stuff. So like higher starting stats, more free job slots. Buildings can do more stuff. We didn't talk about buildings. Start with evolution points, which we haven't talked about. On a per world basis, you have evolution points that you get for completing each one of these things, and you can just kind of tweak it how you like. So this is where I spent most of mine, the making the angels super fast. So that's why it's down to just 18 seconds. I've spent a little bit on making them breed a little bit. I got a 1.1x multiplier on breeding, and I've got talented, so a 10,000x multiplier on stats working at jobs. And ancestry. Normal derp spawn is like plus or minus 5%. So you can see here, minus 5% up to 5%. But when you take those points in ancestry, then you can potentially have plus 2%. So I can actually, my scale is -5 to +7. This one, equalizer, increases whichever stat you roll by +1. The lowest one gets bumped by +1. So if I roll like let's say that I've got this guy at +2, +7, +3, -6. Most likely this was actually like -7, but it got bumped up to -6 because of the equalizer evolution. So yeah, what else? There's more. You have these things called Slurpees. This is the pay-as-you-go or the pay-to-play type mechanic, which, hey, you can't get upset with somebody for trying to make a living making a game. So there's got to be some method of monetization in there. You get a certain number of Slurpees automatically every time you achieve an achievement. So you get 5 Slurpees that way. So so far I've gotten plenty, right? I've gotten plenty enough to be able to do what I want to do. You always want more, but it's enough. It's enough, and I'm happy. I'm content. But what can you spend Slurpees on? Well, you can make your general better. You can make the Reaper better, the Angel better. There's some sort of gambling system in the game. I don't know. Artifacts are something you find on the map, and you can pay to unlock them. They do stuff. I've only unlocked one, which was the juice dispenser. Mega quantities of derps. Favorite beverage on tap. Does civilization have a higher achievement? 1.2x woohoo juice benefit. I find that 90% of problems can be solved with breeding. This is true in the game and in real life, I think. But, so I use this more than anything else, and whenever you hit a wall, like I can't beat this level, the solution is just to breed up your base stats faster. So I found that first artifact to make woohoo juice better just directly gives you better evolution rate as far as the stats stacking goes. So that's why I picked that. Beyond that, you can buy potions. I've never done that. And if you want to, you can spend money to buy Slurpees directly. Which, hey, if you want to support the developer, feel free to go do that. I have no vested interest in it one way or another, but it's something you could try. We didn't talk about buildings, right? So as you do battle maps, you conquer buildings. I have 77 armories. They increased my army's attack power by 153k%. Hey, game. Hey now, game, I said I wanted scientific notation. That should read 1.5 E5. Thank you very much. What is this K nonsense? Anyway, so yeah, and you get building parts, building materials. You can build specific buildings if you want. You can also scrap specific buildings. So let's say, for example, I decide that I don't want my cookie factories anymore. I can destroy them at a ratio of 1 cookie factory becoming 3 building parts. Of course, it's more expensive to build. It's 10 to 1, so you don't get as much back out of it as you need. But hey, in a situation like this where I've only got one more thing to do, which is to just kill maps, I've actually already gone through and sacked all my research buildings because I'm not doing any more research. I don't need to. I just need to play out this last battle map or this last evolution, and then I'm good to go. But yeah, so that's kind of like Slurpy Derpy in a nutshell. I don't know. If you like this kind of game, if you like incrementals, I think you're going to enjoy it. Feel free to go check it out. Again, it's free to play. You can play it on your phone, you can play it online. I would not recommend playing it on Congregate. Play it on the websites that I'll link in the description down below. Or don't play it at all, because maybe you should spend some time with your family. That's always an option. My wife's going a little bit crazy with me because every time I'm not in my office right now, I'm usually walking around with Slurpy Derpy on my phone. So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, pretty much glowing praise for me. I really enjoy this game. I think it's really, really well made, and I think you'll like it. So, thanks for watching the video. Hope you guys liked it. I'll see you in the next one, and see you in a bit.